Two more liveries have been revealed for the 2021 F1 season. We had Haas yesterday and Williams earlier today. We're combining them into one video, two liveries, one video, just like we did with the releases a couple of days ago. There are so many releases. We're well deep into livery reveal season, car reveal season, the start of the season. We've only got one livery left. That is the Ferrari on the 10th of March. A lot later, isn't it, Dylan, than the rest of the teams?
Yeah, they seem to have left a gap to the other teams. I mean, I don't think that anyone's that excited anyways. It's just going to stay the same like it has previous years. Only the technical things will probably change. But otherwise, livery-wise, it'll just stay completely red, I think.
Yeah, I agree with you there. On screen, you can see the new look for Haas, the very interesting new look. They've got that Haas down the side that's been a staple since their livery began in 2016. But the rest of the car is completely different. A white base with red and blue. And if you don't know what colours that indicates, that's the Russian flag. And Dylan, would you like to explain why Haas have put a Russian flag on their car this year?
They put a Russian flag because one of the drivers is Russian, Nikita Mazepin, and I believe his dad might have bought part of the team or invested into the team, so they had to put the Russian flag on the side just because of Mazepin.
They have, yes, his dad invested in the team. He owns the company that you can see on the engine cover there, Uralkali. It's some sort of, I think, a fertilizer company, a chemicals company of sorts. And yes, he's invested heavily into the team. And the colours of Uralkali are, I'm probably butchering the pronunciation there, are the Russian flag colours. So that's why it's on there. It's not really for Mazepin, although it kind of works because he's Russian. It's for the company, so to speak. But it does neglect the fact that Haas are American and they've got Schumacher, arguably a driver of a lot higher caliber, isn't he? And they haven't put either of the other flags on there. It's. I don't mind it as a livery. It certainly is a bit of a toothpaste tube, isn't it, Dylan?
Yeah, it definitely doesn't not look normal. It looks like toothpaste. I don't think it looks very nice. They should have just kept it from last year. They put too much white on it. I think it should have a bit more black around the sides, and just get rid of some of the white and the Russian flag at the back.
Yeah, and on the front wing, where it's quite prominent as well. I agree, a bit too much white on there, but I quite like the livery. I mean, it's nothing special, and the only reason it'll be remembered is because everyone hates the fact that it's a Nikita Mazepin-driven car. But I don't mind it as a livery. It gets the job done. When I first saw it, I thought, but it's grown on me, and I don't dislike it, but I don't like it, and I dislike it more due to the reasoning behind it rather than the liver itself. If you put that on a Williams with got rid of that Haas branding, I wouldn't mind it. It's just an average livery in my opinion, but there really isn't actually that much to talk about with the Haas in any way. It's a very Russian car is the way to describe it, and there's nothing wrong with that, Russian viewers, don't worry. But Nikita Mazepin is an outlier of the Russian society, isn't he, Dylan?
Yeah, no one's liked him. What he's posted on social media hasn't been very good. Hence why he got the hashtag against him. But I don't think, I don't really like him as a driver at all.
No, he's done some rather interesting moves in Formula 2, and he beat up Callum Ilott once as well, because Callum Ilott stopped him having a qualify. It wasn't even it was a quali sim lap in practice once. He blocked him, and Nikita Mazepin decided to beat him up, and he gave him a fractured jaw. So that shows how nice a person Nikita Mazepin is. Technical changes wise, we've got nothing to show you. No red circles because, well, Haas have gone for an interesting tactic. There's 2022 regulations next year, which are a big change, but they've decided, right, it's not a good car. We're going to try and focus all out from after pre-season testing and that first race in Bahrain on the 2022 car. So I think they're going to come plumb last. What do you think, Dylan?
I think they'll definitely be battling Williams for the last spot. I still don't think Williams will beat them. It'll be a close one. They'll both be trying to fight for at least 1 point the whole season. I don't see any of them probably scoring any points. So I think Haas have a strong possibility of coming last in the Constructors' Championship.
Yeah, I agree with you there. Rookie drivers, no matter what you say, rookie drivers are rookie drivers. They're not as good as experienced drivers, especially Nikita Mazepin, as we've previously said. And if they're focusing on 2022, which that's their decision, but I just don't see it, to be honest. I don't see them doing well if they're not focusing on a car that's it's carrying over from 2020, and it wasn't a good car, and there are, from what I can see, no technical changes. They haven't even started the engine due to COVID restrictions. They can't get Ferrari technicians over. The first time they're starting it in Bahrain, which is never a good idea, is it, Dylan?
No, that could go horribly wrong.
It could go horribly wrong, especially with 3 days of testing. They could spend 2.5 days in the garage getting their engine fixed because it won't fire up for the first time in its life. So Haas have had a pretty bad start to the season. There had a bit of bad press with Nikita Mazepin, the car, the reasoning behind it. So overall, a car that's, shall we say, controversial for Haas. And now we're going to move on to the Williams car. Now, the Williams is an interesting car here. You can see all the shots we have of it here, and the launch didn't go well. They planned to do quite an interesting launch for the COVID restrictions. They planned to launch it on an augmented reality app, so you could hold your phone up, move it around your bedroom or table or garden in real life, and you could see the car as if it was there looking through your phone camera, like you were moving with it, which is quite a cool thing. But some idiots hacked it, I just hope that's not a sign of the season to come, don't you, Dylan?
Yeah, I hope that doesn't bring even more bad luck for them. I think it was a pretty cool idea, but it's a shame that they got hacked. Probably have to work a bit more on their security.
Yeah, I agree with you there. They I think security-wise, I think they rushed getting it out, especially on the Android side of things. I think it was only released today for the Android App Store, so that's never a good sign when you're really rushing the release of something. And yes, it didn't go well, and I think the only reason I can't see you're not going to earn any money from hacking that. You're not going to be able to steal credit card details. So the only reason I can see you could hack that is you just want to see delivery. And I mean, let's get on to the delivery. When I first saw this, I quite liked it, and to be fair, I still do. But it's in the few hours I've had to look at it, I don't like it as much as I used to when I first saw it. And that's partly because that engine cover, like if you look at the Mercedes or any other car, there is a lot of sponsorship on that engine cover. And with the Williams, there's just a Williams logo at the top and a tiny Lavazza thing. That's it. It just looks bare, doesn't it, Dylan?
Yeah, it does look bare, but I don't know if they're still waiting to confirm some sponsors. They just haven't had time yet to put them on there. So I don't know if they will add more, but it does look very empty on the rear end with just a small Lavazza thing on the shark fin. If they don't have any more, they should definitely move that down and make it larger just to fill some more space in the way it looks just plain and boring.
Yeah, I agree with you there. There's quite a lot on the rear wing, actually. There's Williams and there's some stuff on the side, and I imagine on the back of the rear wing, but there's nothing there. I don't know if that's a deliberate design thing, but I don't like the way the black comes up a lot. It doesn't look natural. I think if they'd either brought the black up all the way rather than having it cut halfway, or just brought the blue down. I just wanted a straight line at the bottom there. And to be honest, the main thing I think of when I see this car is it's been designed on F1 2020 My Team. And what I mean by that is it's just a bit simple. It's nothing. They've tried to go for something that looks a bit like their old heritage cars, so the FW14B there. They're really successful cars, so they've used a bit of yellow in there. But I just don't think they've done it well. What do you think, Dylan?
I do like the design delivery. I think the only thing that annoys me is the lack of sponsors. Otherwise, I do really like the pattern. I think it's the best I've seen from Williams for a bit. I prefer it to last year and the past few years. I really like the design. It's got a nice amount of blue and white. I think it looks very nice as a car for a delivery.
You see, one thing I don't like is the half blue and the half white. The white at the front, the blue at the back. I would have preferred. I liked their white that they've kept ever since 2014. Really, I really like the white. And even like the FW43B had a lot more white. They've got a lot of blue at the back, a lot of black, a lot of dark. And I don't like the transition to the yellow and the white at the front. I think they should have done a white base, put these shades of blue and black and yellow in, and then it could have been a much better car. I like the black halo, but I just think it's such a good concept, and I hope they evolve it more, because one of my favourite Williams cars actually was the Williams Martini cars from about 2014 to 2018. Did you like those, Dylan? I really like them.
Yeah, I did like them. Their designs, a lot of white on it. They did look very nice. My favourite was probably the one from 2012. That one looks quite nice as well. I think they've done pretty well deliveries over the past few years. I still think this is probably one of my favourite or second favourite livery Williams have done. But I do also like the ones you said from, was it 2013 or 2014 to 2018? It did look very nice.
Yeah, the Martinis.
Yeah.
The Martini ones. Now, onto some technical analysis. Not much technical analysis, obviously, because of the regulations there. But, you can see that massive bulge in the engine cover there. And a lot of Mercedes engine cars have it. All three of them, apart from the McLaren. There are 4 Mercedes engine cars on the grid. It's a lot bigger bulge than the Aston and the Mercedes itself. They seem to be smaller, but it's some sort of upgrade that obviously wasn't there last year to help improve power delivery by the looks of it. They've incorporated it a lot better, like McLaren, but there is still a visible bulge there. Obviously you've got the token thing. They spent 1 token last year, so they only had 1 to spend, and what they spent it on was it looks like they've done it at the rear of the car, really, because you need to send 2 tokens to redesign a new bit. So this is a very similar car to 2019. They've carried it all the way through, a lot longer, because 2020 was quite similar to 2019, although a lot faster, about 1 second a lap faster, if you believe it. But, so it is quite similar to 2019, a lot longer than they continued and imagined an evolution of this car to continue for. So the rear suspension is quite similar, although there has been that cutaway on the floor, and there is still that really quite wide nose. It did work last year with the likes of the Alpha Tauri, but there are not many changes, the main being at the engine cover. The front suspension seems entirely unchanged, and the biggest changes at the rear of the car with that engine cover and with those floor changes that are regulation pushed. But that brings us to the end of the 2 liveries that have been revealed over the past 2 days. We hope you've enjoyed listening to us talk about those, and you'll be joining us for the final launch, the Ferrari, which is on the 10th of March, and we'll be discussing that before getting into some pre-season testing content, which is starting on the 12th of March. So you've got that on a Friday in the middle of March. We'll be covering that, and then we'll be straight into the first races of the 2021 season. Very exciting, isn't it, Dylan?
Yeah, I've been looking forward to this for a while. There's 2 new tracks, or 1 new track and 1 coming back with Imola, and also Portugal, and a new track in Saudi Arabia, which will be interesting to see how that goes. No one's ever seen the track here, I don't think. It'll be exciting to see the new track at the end of the season.
Yeah, I agree with you there. But now, all that's left to say is thank you very much for watching. I've been Ed.
And I've been Dylan. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.